It's only a game, so put up a real good fight. I'm gonna be snookering you tonight. I'm famed for my aim, so you better believe I'm right. I'm gonna be snookering you tonight. Big break!
Ah, yes, the unmistakable sound of my childhood in the 90s. Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast. My name is James. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you very much for tuning in this week. Appreciate each and every one of you listening. I don't know how many of you are listening, but as I'm speaking, I'm recording this literally a few days before I move to my new place. But I thought I'd get this episode done in advance. So I haven't seen any comments yet or any feedback from the first episode of last week's show, which was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, which I hope you all enjoyed. Please feel free to leave comments and I will get them out on the show. I will read them. I will read your comment on the show. And which will be fun because you guys are feeding me information so I can improve, make things better. And I appreciate you guys just enjoying the show. And hopefully we'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. But crawl before we walk. These few episodes will probably sound jittery and whatnot, but it's because I'm nervous and I'm not used to talking by myself and just having fun doing these. I'm actually really having fun with these. TV and movies are like my passion, and I'm so excited to talk about this show in particular. So without further ado, let's dive into the world of snooker, where we dive into the show that is known as Big Break, which started on 30th of April 1991. Let's go. Okay, so here we are, episode 2. Big Break. Wow. This brings me back. Big Break was like an incredible show back in the 90s. For those of you who are about my age, or about 33, everybody knows in the 90s it was all about the family game shows on the Friday, Saturday, and then like sports on the Sunday, like Grand Slam and all that. But for me, Big Break was like one of the big ones. You know, you had Big Break, Noel's House Party, the Generation Game, Blankety Blank, Stars in Our Eyes, all that stuff. Which one day we will cover all of these in the podcast. I'm sure we will. But the reason why Big Break stands out to me a lot, and this is why this is like the first TV show that I wanted to cover on this podcast. It's just the nostalgia of how incredible the show was. As you've probably heard in the intro, the first episode aired the 30th of April, 1991, which is about 32 years. Yeah, 32 years. It's about the same age as my brother. And it lasted 14 seasons. So it went from 1991 to 2001. And all the basis of the game was literally 3 contestants came on and they would be paired with a snooker pro. And the snooker pro would have to pot the balls in. Somebody's going to laugh at that. Pot the balls in and try and advance through the rounds, where eventually they'll play for money and then they try and win the money. And you had 2 fantastic hosts. One of them was the legend snooker player, John Virgo. John Virgo was absolutely amazing in that. For any snooker fans out there, you can hear him on like commentary now on the snooker championships whenever they're on. And you had the one and only the legendary comedian Jim Davidson, which for me as a kid, I loved him as an actor. He was funny, he was fantastic, he was witty, classic comedian for the 90s. I don't know, he came up through like the late 70s through the 80s, and then I think Big Break was like kind of his like shining moment, where he not only had the Big Break gig, but he also had later on the Generation Game gig as well, which we'll cover one day. But yeah, you know, you had the three contestants would have to answer. So they would split the show into like 3 segments. So the first segment was hot hot red or hot shot, where the contestants would answer 3 questions, and they would add add 10 seconds to the timer. They obviously changed it later on, where they start off with 40 seconds, which is the maximum time that you need for the snooker player. And if you got a question wrong, the time would reduce. So it was kind of like they obviously refreshed it through the years. So whatever time the snooker player had, they'd break. They do a normal break, and then, as John Virgo would say, the clock would strike the next time you struck the cue ball, and then they would race against time to pot as many balls as they can, which is which is the rules in I can't remember what it said, hot red or hot shot. Somebody will question me. Leave a comments below here on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube, or on Spotify. And then obviously one person would get knocked out, and the 2 remaining contestants would move on to a game called Potluck, where you have color balls. Well, you have the color balls and the red balls, and every time the snooker player would miss a color, whether it was red, yellow, black, pink, blue, red, green, they would answer a question from that color, and then the snooker player would continue. But they would have numbers on the balls, so it would mark the amount of pounds that somebody would win. So like the red balls would be 10, and the black ball would be like 70 pounds, and they'd have a different coloured corner as well. So if you pot the matching colour ball to the matching colour corner, you would get like the double the money, really. And this is good. And I think the record, I watched the record the other day on YouTube. You can find all these episodes on YouTube. It's great. What was it? Willie Thorne, one of the legendary snooker players who's sadly no longer with us, hit the record for this game, which was 700 something pounds. And nobody had beaten it. And I watched on, there's a clip of it on YouTube somewhere, which was epic, really, really good. So, and then when the person would finish that, one person would get knocked out from that, and then the contestant would go on to like the final game, which was, I think it was Potluck. Potluck, where the contestant then would be asked a number of questions during 40 seconds, I think, and for each correct answer, 5 correct answers, you get 5 red balls taken off the board, or how many questions you get right, the balls would be taken off the table, so it would make it easier for the snooker player to get to win the prize, to win the prize to the contestant. I think it was 40 seconds, because then whatever time was remaining, they would stop the clock, and whatever time was remaining, the snooker player would have to pot all the balls in that allotted time, which some didn't, some did. It looks easy on TV, but if anyone has ever played snooker before, you would know that how difficult potting the ball is. I've just recently started playing snooker myself again, and it's tremendously difficult. But it was pretty good, really, really good. The show had like a hell of a following back in the 90s. Really, really good following. It managed to do 222 episodes, and that's including 17 specials, which is incredible. Some of the specials were amazing, like the Christmas specials. Everyone would dress up. You'd have the gladiators come in as well. It was just fun, such family fun. And you could sit there with your mum, dad, granddad, grandmother or brothers or sisters. Just sit there and just have a laugh for about 30 minutes every Saturday evening. It was so good. It was so fun. And when it went off air, I think it was really disappointing for it to go off air, but it could only go as far as it could, which is fun. And, I do kind of wish they bring it back, but thankfully on YouTube, there's a lot of those episodes, especially the earlier episodes on YouTube right now, which you can catch. Yeah. What else was I going to talk about? The theme song. Man alive. The theme song was based off an original song called The Snooker Song by Captain Sensible. And it's a very catchy tune. It's a very, 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 very catchy tune, which they obviously made differently for the TV show. Because in the show, it doesn't have people going, big break! Or whatnot. But, like, the first verse of the song is the original first verse, and then they just added the big break at the end because it's the name of the show. But it was really, really good, really, really good fun, and it was such a joyous thing to watch as a kid. If anyone's ever seen it before, let us know in the comments. It's great. Was there anything else? No, there's nothing really else to talk about, really, because like the show overall was absolutely class, so good, and it just brings, watching it back, it just brings so much nostalgia and so much fun that I really just want to continue watching it. There is a video on YouTube which has the blooper reel, so everything that goes wrong with the show, and it's so good to see like the relationship between Jim Davidson and John Virgo, how they were such good friends during that show, and you could see it on the camera how dynamic the two work together. And the entire team that brought it together was it was such a well-oiled machine, and it was so much fun. It was enjoyable. It was really, really good. But yeah, like on IMDb, it was ranked as like 6.7 out of 10, which I think is a bit of a travesty because I think it's a lot more than that. But everybody, has different tastes and whatnot of the show. But it was really good. It's one of those BBC flagship shows in the 90s, which is really, really good. But unfortunately, it came to an end 2001, 2002. Depends on who you believe. But yeah, it was a really good show. Really good. I enjoyed it as a kid. I still love it today. I do wish they brought it back. Maybe one day if I become rich and famous, maybe I could go, can we bring Big Break back and host the show? I'd love to do that. That'd be great. I'd love to host a new version of Big Break. I wouldn't know who my co-host would be, snooker player wise. It'd probably be somebody who's got like comedic timing, probably like a Mark Williams. Yeah, Mark Williams. I'd probably have Mark Williams to do it because he's quite a character and being a fellow Welshman as well. So that'd be pretty fun. Whew. All right, are we watching anything? No. All right, okay. So I think that's gonna be it. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's short. It's gonna be a shorter episode, I think, compared to what it was before. But it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So yeah, let's play some. Let's play some music and let's end the show. Oh, that's what I forgot. The rating I'm going to give it. So, highest score in snooker is 147. So, if I had to score it out of 147, I'd probably give it a solid 145. Yeah, solid. Really solid score. Really, really good. Yeah, a 145. Definitely out of 147. Brilliant. Right, let's get some music going. Let's go. that's it, everybody. Thank you very much for another episode here at the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast. Really appreciate it. Please share our podcast around. Doing really well. Thank you all for listening. Please go and follow our socials. We are on Instagram at the Multiverse of Entertainment Pod. We're on YouTube at the Multiverse of Entertainment Podcast as well. Go and subscribe to the channel there because we'll have a video version of this podcast going up every Monday. Also, as well, we have a TikTok account, so go and follow us at MorePod on TikTok. Hit the plus button, and we will drop a clip of new episodes each and every Wednesday. So, without further ado, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one. See you on the next one. Peace.